Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, groove. Baby girl, watch how you move. I got them vests on my shoes. I'll pop up, put it out loose.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back at it again. Your girl DJ Nikki P on the ones and twos. I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I'm so excited to like build a family here, to let you guys into my personal life and to get to know me as a person. I'm so excited. Okay, so today I'm doing a story time for sadly when I jumped out of a 2-story window. Okay, so let me give you guys just a history. So my freshman and my sophomore year, I was dating this guy kind of on and off. You know how that is. Like when you're freshly new to college, just boys everywhere. So I was dating this guy on and off for my freshman and my sophomore year, just because like he was on games. He was like 2 years older. He was on games. But my sophomore year, I had just moved into an apartment with 3 of my other friends. So me and this guy was on and off, and everybody knew. Like when you're going through something like that, like you make it known like everywhere. So me and this guy, we're like on and off. So all my friends knew and everything like that. But you know, at one point my sophomore year, I just called it quits. I was like, I'm done. You know, I'm done. Nothing is ever going to change my mind. I'm done with him. I don't ever want to see him again. So I was not talking to him for like, I would say like maybe like 2 months, a month and a half or something like that, which is a long time for if you're like on and off with somebody. So but you know, this one time me and my friends, we had just moved into our apartment our sophomore years. We were like the first time on our own. It was 4 of us. It was me, Danielle, I'm gonna call him Danielle, Ashley, and then it was another girl. So we had all moved into the apartment. So we decided to have like a little kickback. Some of our friends came down, some of our guy friends. And at this kickback, I just thought I should like announce, like, you know, I'm done. So I decided, I sat everybody down. I stood up on the chair. I was like, I just want you guys to all know, after everything that you guys have witnessed, that I'm done. I'm going to call him Sean. That's not really his name, but I'm going to call him Sean. So at this kickback, I decided, like, I'm going to let everybody know. So everybody's like patting me on the back, like, yes, sis, you just better let him go. So I was like, you know, I was happy. Like, I was in my prime time. Like, you know, the time where you just let go of a nothing boy. Like, you like, I feel unstoppable. Like, I'm on my INDEPEDENT type stuff. Do you know what that mean? You know? Like, I was feeling like a queen. So, you know, we have a kickback. So the next night, this is like the beginning of the semester. So the next night, there's an icebreaker at the club. So me and all the same people who were at that kickback, we decided to go. So we're in the club, we're turned, you know, and I told myself that if I ever see him again, because it was like 2 months that went by since I had seen him, I was like, if I ever see him again, you know, I'll be straight, you know. It's nothing. My feelings for him are like completely going away. So it's easy to just say that if you're not dealing with somebody anymore and you haven't seen him in a long time. So I got confident, you know. So me and all my friends were in the club the next night after the kickback, after my, you know, like my little breakup party. And we're like, turn, you know, like it's a lot of us. We in there deep, we turn. So, you know, out of the corner of my eye, I see him. So I'm like, oh, you know, like, I'm not about to let that stop me. You know, I was still turned, but I don't know. I let it stop me. So I'm like, I start being dramatic. Like, I'm in the corner crying to my friends, like, he's here, he's here. But they like, you good, sis? You know, like, you was just saying how you ain't need him last night. So I'm like, you right. So, you know, I turned it down for a little second. So after the club, you know, we go back to the apartment or whatever, and I get like a call from this blocked number because I had him blocked on my phone. So I'm like, I get a call from a blocked number. I'm like, who's this? He was like, it's Sean. So I'm like, you know, like you would think that if I'm so done, I'm gonna just hang up right then and there. But that's not what I did. That's not what I did. So I'm like, oh, you know, what's up? So he's like, I'm outside your apartment. Come outside. We about to go to my house. So I'm like, no, you know, like I'm not about to go. I'm just kidding. That's not what I said. I was like, okay, let me pack my overnight bag. So, you know, like I got in the car, and need I remind you, I'm like, I can't be doing this. You know what I mean? Like my friends are all, and they went through the breakup with me. Like if you go through a breakup like that, I feel like everybody who's close to you, they go through it with you. So I'm like, I can't let them find out about this. I can't be doing this. So for a second, I was like, I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to do it because they going to find out. But I'm like, but what if they don't find out though? So I convinced myself, like, I'll just do it and they're not gonna find out. So I went back to his house. He's like saying sorry about all the stuff he did. We're playing video games. You know, like when you like somebody, it's like they can just say the smallest thing, like your hair looks nice, and you're like, okay, I forgive you. So, and I was young too, like I was young and naive, because like when I was in high school, like he was the first guy that I kind of knew about, because when I was in high school I didn't really like date and stuff like that. So he was the first kind of guy in college I knew about. So okay, so I go to his house. So the next day, you know, I'm around my friends and stuff. I'm just acting like nothing happened, because nothing really did happen. At that time the ball was in my court, because he called me. So my friends, they're like, okay, there's another icebreaker tonight. When I tell y'all, this week we went out like 4 different times, because the beginning of the semester, like for those who are in school or just people who go out around colleges, like y'all know, like the beginning of the semester there'll be a whole bunch of icebreakers. So we go to another icebreaker. This is now Saturday. So Saturday comes, we go to the icebreaker. But this time it wasn't all of us. This time I'm gonna say it was Sarah, which was one of my close friends. She wasn't one of the ones that lived with us though. Ashley, she was one of the ones that lived with us. So us 3, we go to the club. So, you know, I'm just kind of like, I'm like, you know, I'm a little sketchy. I'm like, what if he's here? You know, if not, I'm gonna just act cool. I'm not gonna say nothing, because I can't have my friends find out about this. Like, I cannot. So, you know, like we go to the club or whatever, and then, you know, we walk in and we doing our things. You know, we hold hands. You know, you go to the club with your friends, y'all like holding hands so y'all don't get lost. So it was a whole bunch of people, so we're dancing and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm thirsty, I need to get some water. So they're like, yeah. Sarah and Ashley's like, yeah, me too, we're thirsty too. So we go to the bar, we drink our water, and we're standing there like taking a little break from being turned or whatever. So I see out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, something looks familiar, like, and it's him, but he's not by himself. Like, his girl, she's like his ex-girlfriend. Like, she's leaning on the wall, and he got her, you know how somebody lean on the wall like this, like trying to look all cute. And then like the guy, his arm is like this, like he got her like against like the wall, like whispering in her ear, like, oh, it's like Pretty Ricky, like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to get at her. So I'm like, you know, like, you know, when you find out some stuff like that, you like, oh my gosh, like, you want to react, but I cannot react, because my friends are going to be like, what are you even tripping for? Like, I thought you were over him. Like, you're not even messing around with him anymore, so you can't even get mad. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going back and forth with myself. I'm like, am I going to trip? Am I going to not go trip? I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to trip. So I'm like, okay. So we grab each other's hands, make our way back to the dance floor. So we dancing, but they happy. You know, I'm looking at their faces. They turn like, ha, ha. You know, they in their prime time having fun. And I look, and I'm just like, I still see him talking to her. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta say something. You know, because it's like, if somebody really got you messed up like that, like, I'm not saying everybody's like this, but me, I'm very patient. So if you push me to a certain point and you keep pushing, like, just keep pushing, I'm gonna have to say something. So I didn't even tell my friends where I was going. I just walked away. So they're looking at me like, what is she doing? And they see me walking towards Sean and the girl, so they start chasing after me in their heels and stuff. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I ain't see nothing else. Like, I was just walking past everything else, like bottles on the floor, fights, everything. Like, I was just making my way over. So they're like, stopping, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Sarah, she felt passionate about this, because she tried to make me leave so many times. So to a certain extent, she was kind of in the relationship with us. But like, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I hung out with him last night. So when I said that, her mouth just dropped. Sarah's like, and she just does this, and she just walks away, and she start crying. Like, I'm like, you would think that you were the one getting cheated on, but like I said, she was to a certain extent a part of our relationship too. So she walks away to the bar, and she's sitting at the bar stressing, just crying her eyes out. So I'm like, I'm sorry, Sarah, but you have to wait for a second, because I got some business to attend to. And Ashley, she's grabbing my arm like, Nikki, you know, like, don't do this, don't do this. I'm like, I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? I have no choice. I mean, I did have a choice, but that choice wasn't the choice that I wanted. So I'm like, you know, like, I have to do this. I have to do this. She's like, you know, you don't. We can just leave. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave. I'm like, we can leave after this. So I walk over. And then I'm like, what's this? What's this? And she knew who I was. So she's looking like, what do you mean? What is this? What do you mean? What is this? What do you mean? What is she on? So he's looking at both of us. Because it's like, what can you do, bro? Like, you're caught up. Like, you know. So He's like, you know, like, yo, I'm cool, you know, I ain't on this drama stuff. I ain't on this drama. So I'm like, if you're not on drama stuff, then why bring people into your drama? So I'm putting my hands in his face. I'm not even really worried about her, because he probably lied to her just like he lied to me. So I'm putting my hands in his face. I mean, you know what? You trying it. You got me messed up, bro. Like, so he's like, you're crazy. So I'm like, I'm crazy. See, that's the thing about some boys. Like, they try to say, like, you're crazy. But I feel like if I'm right about something, I'm not crazy. I'm smart. And you're just mad. But I'm like, I'm going to put my hand in his face. And I'm like this. And then somehow, like, my hand flipped back. And I just slapped him. So I as soon as I slapped him, I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe I'm crazy. So that's when I snapped back into reality. Like, okay, I got to go. Because now I'm just getting out of hand. I'm slapping boys in the club. Like, this just ain't cool. So my friend's pulling me away. You can tell the girl started getting mad. She threw like the drink in his face, like, and then I'm like, oh, you know, like, but I don't really care about that, because it's like, I mean, you brought it on yourself. But at Sarah, she's still at the bar, you know, like crying and stressing and stuff like that. So as she's like, okay, we're just gonna go. So we leave or whatever. And we're in the car ride home, like, it's silent. So, like, everybody looking out the window, like, it's jazz music. And you know it's real, like, you know, like, the elevator music, like, we just looking out the window, like, you know, like, this is really crazy, like. So, we get back to the apartment. So, as soon as we walk in the apartment, my other roommate, which is, I'm gonna call her Danielle. That's not really. So we walk into the apartment and Danielle is like crying, like bawling her eyes out. So we're like, why are you crying? So we go to my room. Everybody follows me to my room or whatever. And I'm like mad. At this point, I'm crying. So, you know, Ashley and Sarah, they're updating Danielle on what happened. But Sarah, she's doing it like in a rude way. She's fed up with me. So she's like, you're dumb, yelling at me. So in the middle of Sarah dogging me, you know, I'm just kind of looking down. I'm like, I'm numb at this point. Go ahead and go in on me, sis, because I'm tired of me too. But while Sarah's going in on me, Danielle gets a call from our other friend. I guess and she's like, what? Oh my gosh. So we're like, what's going on? You know, like, what's going on? Well, they were asking, but I didn't really care. I mean, that might sound selfish, but I was so numb at this point. So they're like, Danielle's like, okay, we have to go to Cleveland. Like, we have to go to Cleveland. Rachel, which is another one of our friends, just got cheated on. And she was with this guy for years. So they're like, we have to go to Cleveland. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming. So Sarah's like, she's still going in on me like, no, you're not getting in my car. You're not getting in my car. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stay here. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. I just want to go check up on my friend, you know? So, Danielle, she's like, you know, like, but we can't leave Nikki here by herself. So Ashley's like, okay, I guess I'll just stay then. So, boom. Sarah and Danielle, they leave to go check on Rachel in a different city because she wasn't with us that night or whatever. So, you know, like, when you're mad, I'm the kind of person, like, when I'm mad, I can't just sit in my room and be mad. Like, I have to go, I have to do something. Like, I have to walk around or run or something. Like, I cannot just sit in my room and be mad. So I'm like telling Ashley, like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for a walk. So she's like, no, you're not. So I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, I'm not letting you leave. So I'm like, we go back and forth 5 minutes. So ding, another thought coming out here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let sis think that I'm about to go to bed. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm just going to go to bed. She's like, good, that's a good idea. So she walks me to my room. As soon as I hear her walk away, I lock the door. And I look at my window. I'm like, you know, like, I kind of look to, like, creep out because we're on the second floor. I'm like, kind of looking like, is this really worth this jump though? Like, is this really worth this jump? Like, I don't know. So I'm like desperate at this point because I'm sitting in my dark room. Sister playing in the background. That's my favorite show, but that didn't even like bring me any joy. So I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I look at the window. I'm walking around my room for like 5 minutes. And then in the meantime, Ashley is like turning on the knob like, Nikki, why'd you lock the door? Nikki, why'd you lock the door? So I look at the window 5 minutes later after contemplating. And I just opened it. And then my whole life just flashed before my eyes. I jumped out of a 2-story window. And when I tell you, it wasn't like no jump where you just fall. Like, it was like a jump, like my knees locked, like, and then I fell. Like, it was just like, and then as soon as I fell in the dirt, and then I'm just looking up, like, at the sky for, like, 2 minutes. Just, like, for 2 minutes. Like, I'm like, bro, like, this is the worst night of my life. Like, I'm really just sitting here in this mud. And then I remind you, I haven't had my phone or my keys on me. So, I'm just sitting here, like, laying on the ground. So, eventually, after 2 minutes, I get up. I'm like, okay, it's 1 o'clock. So, I walk around campus crying my eyes out for, like, 30 minutes. When I tell y'all, I walked legit probably, like, 2 miles. Like, I was gone. Like, I was gone. So, that happens. I get back to the apartment. I knock on the door. Like, and Ashley answered. She's like, what? Like, I thought you were in your room. So I'm like, no, you know, like, I don't think I even answered her. I just walked past her. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, you know, it's time, you know, at this point it's like 1:30. I'm just going to go to bed. So I turn my doorknob. I'm like, bro, I'm locked out of my bedroom. Like, I don't have my bedroom keys are in my bedroom. And it's 1:30 in the morning. It's not like maintenance can come let me in, because they're closed. They're sleeping. Like, so I go to maintenance, or I try to call out maintenance. They didn't answer. So I just drop down on the floor and I just fall asleep on the kitchen floor. So everybody, so Rachel, Sarah, and Danielle, they eventually get back. They're like checking on me, like, you can come sleep in our rooms. I'm like, you know, I'm fine. I don't want to. I just want to lay here on the floor. And that's exactly what I did for that whole night. And it was terrible. Like, and I was just looking at the ceiling. But that was my final straw. Like, that was my final straw. I'm like, okay, this guy has caused me to jump out of it. Well, it's not like he put a gun in my head and made me do it. But I was like, okay, he has pushed me to this point where I'm jumping out of 2-story windows. I gotta walk away now. And that's what I did. So it was pretty bad. It was stupid. I would just say that if you're going through something like that, don't try to like go off of emotions, because that's how I was. And I did some crazy stuff. Like, I would be like, I'm sad, I'm gonna jump out of a window. I'm sad, I'm gonna cut my hair. Like, so it's like, just don't go off of emotions, because you'll end up jumping out of 2-story windows. Okay, but I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up, this video a thumbs up, and then subscribe to my channel. Please tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your mama, tell your daddy to subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you come back and check us out next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
But it's your undershirt. I didn't.